welcome back to a very new video. But if you're new, my name is Katja and this channel is my online diary about thousands of lives that I want to live through music, travel, language studies, books, basically all things that I love in life. Today is Friday, the 31st of October, meaning it's Halloween. But it also means, for this year at least, that Florence and the Machine came out with Everybody Scream. This record, y'all, when the first single came out, I was like, chills. Chills all over my body. It was so good, and I have been tapping in and out of Florence and the Machine for a very long time. I can't even remember when, but I never did a true deep dive into Florence as an artist. Honestly, I thought she was the front man, but we would also see the band during interviews, but that's not the case. It's purely Florence, which is amazing because she's an amazing person. But I did not know what to exactly expect. And I have been really loving her work for such a long time, but never understanding why, how, who is this, you know? I remember when I was listening to Kings, so that was on Dance Fever, and I listened to it right after Florence was on the same track, Florida. Well, same track. She was a feature on the track Florida by Taylor Swift on her TTPD era. And that was the first time I was really like, you know what, I should get to know this artist so much better. And I started with her work, probably one of her earlier works, and then I was like, okay, let's put on Dance Fever. That was her latest work then. And when I heard Kings, I was like, whoa. Okay, this one hits home. And I didn't really do anything with that knowledge except for listening here and there to Florence. But then this album got announced, Everybody Scream, and I was like, okay, you know what, I need to take that closer look, like I explained. And I really fell in love with who she is as a person, how she creates her art, and when I listened to that first single that she brought out from this album, I was like, okay, yeah, I need to get this album. So here we are. We've got the album. I've listened. Where am I at? Besides the singles, I am not that far. So the new song that I just heard was Witch Dance. So the three singles that I already heard was Everybody Scream, One of the Greats, which I'm so happy it's a 6.5 minute song. Like, yes, thank you so much. So Witch Dance was the first new one I heard, and oh yeah, Sympathy Magic. Oh, whoa, that one is so amazing. I was stunned. I was stunned by the music video. But I'm also stunned with just the sound, the lyrics of it all. So yeah, I have quite a lot of new songs to go, because from the first songs, the 3 out of them were already singles. So Witch Dance was the first new one, which I think is quite funny. I mean, I need to do a deep dive into the lyrics, because we had just Dance Fever on the last album. Like, that album was called Dance Fever, and now we got to Witch Dance. So I am wondering if there are connections. But so many new songs to go. Eight. Oh, wow. I cannot wait. Let me rhyme. Because that was also the thought of Florence. Like, she wanted to have a title that rhymed with Florence and the Machine. Because I remember when I was vlogging, like 2 vlogs ago, and I was talking about this album, I was like, oh, it's so funny, it rhymes. But that was her plan all along, so I love that for me. But I was also very lucky when I bought this album that I could buy it with a signed work album cover. Photo thingy. I'm really happy. So cute, so very fitting for Halloween. Anyway, what more can you expect in this vlog besides, by the end of the video, of course, a review on this album. I will also talk about my language studies, like always, what I'm reading. Is there something interesting going on in my life? Not really. I'm not gonna lie, it's mostly gonna be studying. I am working on a writing project, so I might take you guys along with that one as well, because for the month of November I'm planning to write every single day, even if it's just one sentence. I really want to push myself to the next level, especially because I am currently not working in a traditional sense. I am a freelancer. I do a lot of different works, but still, I am not on a bigger project as of right now. I'm only on smaller projects, which is fun as well. But to just give my days some structure, I am planning basically some kind of autumn curriculum with me learning languages, writing every single day, writing blogs, but I do that usually as well. But yeah, it creates a sense of normality and when there aren't any bigger projects going on. And it also really helps me to stay sharp, get new knowledge, and just have fun with everything, with life in general. I think that's so important, and that is also why I always wanted to become a freelancer. I want to have this freedom to do whatever and learn as much as I possibly can. So yeah, that's what mostly my week is gonna be like. I hope you will enjoy this ride with me together. Of course, I need to show you guys what I've been reading. So currently, I'm still reading the Apothecary Diaries Volume 3, the light novel. Yes, this is the same one that I showed during the last vlog. However, I got a manuscript in, and the publisher, they need to know feedback pretty quick because of rights and whatnot, contractual stuff that has nothing to do with me, but that doesn't mean that manuscripts take over priority of the things that I read privately. Sometimes I read a manuscript first at night and then a book, just so a screen is not the last thing I see before I go to bed. But this time around, the priority is so incredibly high that, yeah, I just had to let it go. Anyway, I love this one in particular, just because we're getting at a certain point of the story that also really interested me in the anime. Um, the intrigue, the history, and the history, like their big stories actually. It's all set up. Like, yes, the first two novels, they also have, of course, a lot of backstory. But now we go in so much deeper into their history and also them coming together, which fascinates me so much. I mean, there is a scene where Jinshi, he he does something and that is very out of character for Master Jinshi, but it is the person who he is when he's with Mao Mao just alone. And I really liked that part already when I saw it in the anime, but I love how it is described in the light novel, because of course an anime is more show than tell, but now we read much more about Mao Mao's thought process of like, oh no, he messed up. I thought that was really funny. Anyway, so I'm not that far in, but yeah, like I said, manuscript takes over priority right now. Sunday is fun day, I guess. Well, today not much is going on. However, I am working on my writing project. This is a writing project I started a little over 2 years ago. It started as an idea and then I got stuck a couple of times until the beginning of this year, when I found out the key, how it should work and everything. And yesterday evening I was working on the structure and I also wrote some scenes. However, there aren't particularly long scenes. I am very much working through everything seeing what fits, what doesn't. I mean, that's basically life as a writer. I love having this kind of writing project because I do a lot of essays on my blog, so a lot of short form content, even though my short form content is on the longer side. I do want to explore longer writing styles, and this particular project has a lot of my heart into it. And for the whole month of November, I'm working on this manuscript, and I will see where I will get with it, you know? I don't know where it goes from now. I do have someone in the literary world who is very interested in this manuscript, but yeah, no promises can be made as of yet. I'm just working through it and we'll see where it will go. On this Monday, we got a surprise. Bang Chan from Stray Kids dropped a collab together with Vandy, Roman Empire, a brand new solo song. Like, y'all, I was not expecting this. I knew a collab was happening, but a full-on MV that is so aesthetically pleasing as this one. Yeah, no, never in my wildest dreams. But it's so good. I am wondering what is going to happen next, because for a fashion house to drop something like this is next level. And wow, all the styling is amazing. It's so freaking good. And I love the way how Bang Chan is striding down the halls. It looks so good. But then again, it's so aesthetically filmed. Like, even if you maybe not a Stray Kids fan, please do watch this MV. It's so much fun, and I like how the fashion house incorporated itself in the MV, how it is completely them, but also very Bang Chan. When it comes down to his solo work, it's so much fun. This Tuesday started with an email from a client. She needs my help with this manuscript. It has to be read ASAP, and it's a German one. And I'm the only German reader at the publishing house that I work for, so of course we're gonna do that. But that also means that for this whole week, my language studies will be all about German. Because even though, yes, I can read German very well, there's still a lot that I have to learn, a lot of vocab. So that's basically what I will be focusing on during this vlog. Welcome to the wrap-up part of this video. Y'all, I don't even know where to begin, but maybe I should start with the obvious. I have a hard time keeping my eyes open because I'm tired. I already touched up on it during the last vlog, and I will talk more in depth about it during the vlog after this one. But yeah, I started a new freelance job, and that was a job that I was not expecting to happen. I mean, the job itself is one that I always hoped to get, but I did not know it was gonna happen right now, especially with us moving very soon. So I was like, you know what, the rest of this year I'm just gonna hone my skills. There are so many other goals that I want to reach, and I will call it a day when it comes down to do bigger freelance jobs. Like, there are always freelance jobs that I'm doing, but normally not this size. And normally I would have never taken on this freelance position, but just because it is a dream job of mine, like, I kind of have a bucket list full of jobs that I want to do one day, and a lot of those I've already done, like working in a museum, working for multiple publishing houses, and yeah, I still work for them, but like, I wanted to work both in marketing, as editing, and whatnot, and it has been so much fun. So when this job was offered to me, I was like, I have to say yes. But guys, I am moving, there's a lot of things on my plate, and they were like, well, actually, we would love to have you, even though you have to take some time off, just because it works also our schedule, because they were very hesitant due to the fact that they couldn't offer me a certain amount of hours immediately from the get-go. They were like, we can only offer it from January. However, we would like to have somebody already on the team so you can already see like how certain things work, and then you don't have that many hours. So we were both in a situation that worked for the other person without knowing it. Like, we were both very hesitant, both parties, and it worked out perfectly. But still, it is it is a lot. But I do love the job itself. I've got some tasks right now that I have to do. It's the last week of November, just so you've got an idea when I'm filming this, actually. But yeah, I have some tasks for this whole week. I'm basically on my own because my coworker, she is on a deserved break because she had to do a lot of things on her own, and that's why they needed someone like me. So yeah, here I am, and that is a long way to say I'm tired. I also cannot wait for the move. It's 2.5 weeks right now until me and my mom get the keys to our new house, and we are both ecstatic. We cannot wait to move and paint our new rooms the colors that we want, and yeah, assemble new furniture. I just love to do that, and I also like to decorate, and I cannot wait to see where my music shelves will go and my bookcases, because I will finally have a big bookcase, because these are not all my books. I mean, you cannot see it well. I don't want to move you because you are in a pretty nice spot when it comes down to the light outside. Anyway, but yeah, I can't put all my books right now on the shelves because my shelf I cannot even speak anymore, because my shelf space is very limited, because these, well, technically it could fit a lot more things if I wouldn't put my jelly cats everywhere, but I love my jelly cats. They are there to stay. Anyway, that's that. That's where I'm at. I wrote certain things down that I wanted to talk about during the wrap-up, so I also mentioned it in my last vlog. If there are some things that I was supposed to talk about during the wrap-up and I didn't do it, I am so incredibly sorry. Like, there have been so many things happening in my life right now that I already had to make the painful decision to film the wrap-ups weeks after the other parts were filmed. And yeah, it is what it is. I still want to talk about certain things just because there are certain memories that I want to keep from all the insane good music that came out over the last few weeks. And yeah, I don't know. I also like to watch these vlogs back to see my state of mind, to where I was in life. Especially right now, I love to watch back my Vienna vlogs because that was a time, that was a vibe. I really want to go back next year probably to Vienna. I already wanted to go this year, but just because of, well, us moving and other work stuff, that I had to come to the conclusion like it's not gonna happen this year, and that's totally fine. Like, hey, you know what? I'm currently doing all the work that I can, so I can take a few months off next year, and I can't wait. But I also very happy where I'm at right now, so yeah. And in the end, these videos are just there for me to document things that I absolutely love. Okay, so annotation masterclass. I have been doing it. I also have practiced it a lot, even though this month I have been reading quite a few manuscripts. So I couldn't do it exactly there. Well, I'm always annotating when I read manuscripts because there are certain things that I want to remember when I make my reports to the publishing house. But privately, I have also been doing it, and really look for ways that make my annotation style me, and it has been a lot of fun, but I couldn't apply it as much as I wanted to. So I still need to find a balance with that, especially with everything going on in my life. But yeah, I'm doing the annotation masterclass mostly at night, and it has been wonderful. I really like the structure of the classes. I also like the practical tests that are going on there. Yeah, so that has been a lot of fun. I will also link the last vlog down below, so I go in depth a little bit more about the annotation masterclass in that vlog. Next one, writing update. So I have wrote a total of 10 times. So actually, you know what? I just thought about it. It's actually quite funny that I'm doing the wrap up during the last week of November, because I can give you a general update about my writing. And I wrote, I don't know how, because okay, the number might not be that big, but for everything going on in my life, I think the number is big. And I wrote a total of 10,000 words. However, I wrote around 5,000 words for the manuscript that I was working on, what I talked about earlier this vlog, and I wrote 5,000 on a new one. Yeah, I know, it's a bit like, why would ya? But I came up with this idea and I was like, this would be so good, because I'm always thinking about like, okay, how can I grow my community? How can I grow my blog? How can I grow my Instagram? How can I grow, well, myself? And then I came up with this new manuscript. It is non-fiction though, but it is heavily inspired by my fiction manuscript, so it has been so much fun. And I also think it's nice to, well, sometimes there are things in fiction you can't really mention. It's a little bit too much on the nose. Like certain lessons you want to explain in fiction. And the fiction novel that I'm writing, it is structure based. And that is fun in games, but it's very different than when the characters are the leads in the manuscript. So to not make certain things too much on the nose, I've been like, okay, how can I transition this in a different way? Because I still like my thought process, but how can I make it more accessible, make it more sense? So I was like, you know what, I should do it completely different. And that's what I did. So 10,000 words, 5,000 for the actual manuscript. Well, yeah, I mean the fiction one, the one that I was actually hoping to write a lot on during the month of November. But yeah, you know what, it is what it is. Next year I have some time off. And also, even when I'm walking, everything should be fine. It's just too many things happening right now, all at once, and that's fine. Okay, so I've talked about everything, I believe, except for one thing, and that is Florence and the Machine, Everybody Scream, out on Halloween. This album, where do I even start? So, very unlike me, I didn't wrote an essay right now just because, well, time crunch. I still love this album so much. So, just some thoughts from the top of my head. I like how this album signifies a certain part of Florence, her life. It's very deep in emotions. It's very honest. It's raw. It are one of these thoughts that you don't always have the space to say them out loud. And with that I mean, sometimes you are just not there, or you don't feel up to it. So there is this window of time that you can tell the story, and then the window closes again. Not necessarily by external factors, it's just you. how you are standing right now in your body. And she also mentioned this during a couple of interviews actually. Like, if this album is not happening right now, it's never gonna happen. And yeah, I could tell. I could tell by her writing style that I was like, wow, this is very heavy, but it is so freaking good. Like, from top to bottom, it tells this story, her thought process, the things that she went through, and the things that she is like, well, basically all her emotions bottled up, but instead of to truly bottle it up, she made an album out of it. I don't even know which one is my favorite. I do think it are the first 4 songs. They just hit in a certain way that I just have a hard time describing, just because I think those songs are so good and they hit me on a personal level as a woman. I think this whole album is such a strong story, a chapter of many women, their lives. And yeah, I think it's amazing for that. So Everybody Scream, I just love that one so much. One of the greats. I remember listening to it for the very first time when it came out as a single, and I was like, well, first up, that's a long song. I love it. Second of all, I was like, whoa, where is it going? Where is this album going? And I hadn't read up too much at that point about the album, and it felt aesthetically very different from Everybody Scream that had already came out. But when listening to it as a whole album, I was like, yes, this song is perfect. It describes exactly the things that a woman in her career, certainly in her point of career, goes through, and it has this vibe that I just love. She also explained how this song came to be and how rough it was. It was a song with lots and lots of trouble. But I think all the trouble, all the mismatched things that was happening during the making of that particular song, it just works. It hits. It is this playful touch of going in melody and going against it. It just fits the vibe of the entire song so well, and the lyrics and the emotions. It goes so hard, and then it's so relaxed and laid back at the same time. I'm like, wow, it has this vibe. It just has a vibe. Witch Dance, oh, that song, y'all, and Sympathy Magic. Those 2 songs are truly October November songs, aren't they? Yes. Yeah, I think I don't even know what more to say. I just like how cohesive this album is, and this album couldn't have been published during any other month. It is just the wicked months. It just fits in there so well. And I am really happy that Florence gave a platform for her thoughts with this one and decided to publish it anyway, even though, yeah, I don't know. You know what? Everything what I would say next will be just rambles. That's just how much I love this album. It's definitely one, gosh, I also love the picture so much. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite albums of her, even though I loved Dance Fever also so much. But this album just hits, like I said before, it hits on a personal level. And I said this in so many other vlogs. Certain music, you just have certain memories attached to them, and that makes it for a great album. And this is definitely one of them. Anyway, again, I'm so sorry that this vlog, or well, the last few vlogs now, are a bit all over the place, and that I couldn't film certain things at the right time. But then again, it kind of was the right time. It was the right time for me and my timeline and everything what is just happening in my life. But I'm very happy that you stick with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and to see you next time. Okay, bye!